What's going on, guys? Fat MMA Critic back again to do my prediction video for UFC 150. It's going to be quite a quick one. The first fight is on the Facebook card. It's Nick Lentz versus Eiji Mitsuoka. Nick Lentz should win this. Mitsuoka last time out lost to Gomi, that's right, in Japan. Nick Lentz, first fight at featherweight, should do the job. Next fight is on the FX part of the card. Excuse me. It's a bantamweight fight between Dustin Pague versus Chico Camus. Dustin Pague should take this. Next fight, bantamweight again, Ken Stone versus Erik Perez. I'm picking Ken Stone. Next fight, middleweight fight, Jared Hamman versus Michael Kuiper. I'm going for Jared Hammer. Next fight is the last one on the undercard. It is a featherweight bout between Dennis Bermudez versus Tommy Hayden. I'm going for Dennis Bermudez. And we are on to the main card. A couple of these fights do sound a bit shit. Not going to lie to you, because they are. The first fight on the main card is Justin Lawrence versus Max Holloway. Yeah, that's on the main card. I'm not even going to go in depth. Fuck that. I mean, I'm going for Justin Lawrence. There you go. I'm just going to pick a name out of the hat. Fuck 'em. Yeah. Next fight. I'm not even going to spend another long time again on this one either. It's Yushin Okami versus Buddy Roberts. I'm going for Yushin Okami. He should have been fighting Huzumar Pahara's on the card, which would have been a fucking sick fight. But evidently he got a knee injury, so that didn't happen. So Yushin Okami's going to take this fight. Probably unanimous decision. That's the way Yushin rolls. The next fight is a middleweight bout. Jake Shields moving up to middleweight against Ed Pee-wee Herman. Is this dude Pee-wee, or was it the guy? No, that's Dave. That's Dave Pee-wee Herman, the dude at heavyweight. Ed Herman, ginger dude, versus Jake Shields. Jake Shields hasn't impressed me at all in the UFC. I'm picking Jake Shields to win, even though he hasn't impressed me, because Ed Herman really shouldn't be any competition on the ground at all to Jake Shields, and I think Jake Shields is going to take this down and hopefully get a submission, get a finish in the fucking UFC. But yeah, Ed Herman should prove no competition for him, you know. So yeah, I'm picking Jake Shields. This is where I'm actually going to start breaking some shit down. Donald Cerrone versus Melvin Guillard. I'm going for Donald Cerrone, and the reason I'm going for Donald Cerrone is because Melvin Guillard has 10 losses, and 9 of those losses are by submission. All his UFC losses are by submission. He lost his last 2 out by submission by rear naked choke in the first round, and beat a guy last time out. Who did he beat? Fabio Camus. Donald Cerrone's been on a bit of a tear. He's 5-1 in the UFC with his only loss, which is a unanimous decision to Nate Diaz, which is no shame. So I'm picking Donald Cerrone. I just think he's the more well-rounded fighter. Other than, you know, Melvin Guillard's got some decent wrestling. He's got some heavy hands, but other than that, his ground game is awful. Everyone knows that. So whoever's got a decent, you know, some decent submissions is going to take him down and submit him, like Joe Lozon, like anyone who'd fucking beat him, except some random dude called Jake Short, who he fought in like one of his first fights and lost the unanimous decision. The most interesting fight, and probably the only reason people actually want to watch this card, is up next. It's the main event: Benson Henderson versus Frankie Edgar for the lightweight title. In the first fight, it was a classic. It was a fantastic fight. It was everything that a Frankie Edgar fight normally is: exciting, him trying to come back from behind. Benson Henderson, in my opinion, is just too big. He's too big for Frankie Edgar. I know that Melvin Guillard was a big guy, and but Benson Henderson looks like he could fight at 170 and do a good job at it. I'm picking Ben Henderson to win, and I think it's going to be another unanimous decision because I just don't think there's a man in the world that can actually beat Frankie Edgar, like knock him out or submit him. He's just, he's the unbeatable man in that sense. But anything can happen. It's MMA. Frankie Edgar could pull off like what he did in the fight against Maynard in the second fight, or in the first fight, or in the second fight, second and third fights. They already fought once before. I'm going for Ben Henderson. I just think he is going to be too big, and I think he's going to just do what he done last time to him. I mean, it's going to be a very entertaining fight, but for me, I almost hope Frankie loses, because now we can actually see him. I think if he loses this, he'll actually go down to 145 and make that decision to drop, because he cuts no weight. He probably cuts a pound or 2 pounds to make 155. He is a genuine 155 pounder. Benson Henderson probably has to lose 15 to 20 pounds, if not a little bit more, because he's a big dude. He's probably at least weighing 170 when he's fighting, if not a little bit more. Where Frankie Edgar is 155 or 156 when he's fighting, and that's what he weighs normally. He probably might have to lose, at his biggest, he's probably like 160 pounds. That's nothing. He's got to lose 5 pounds. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing. It's for him. It's probably a couple of hours on a treadmill in some sweats. It's not an issue. I hope Benson Henderson wins, and the only reason I'm saying that is purely because I really would like to see him fight Nate Diaz, which I think they'll hopefully make that fight happen. And I really want Frankie Edgar to move down. I believe that he belongs at 145, and I think he would tear up 145. Everyone's salivating to see him fight Jose Aldo, which I think I don't even think they would bother testing the water with Frankie Edgar down at 145. I think they would just fucking straight away give him the title shot. Don't even fuck about. Give him the title shot. Make that super fight happen. Make fans happy, Dana White. Make us fans happy. Actually give us a fight we want. This is one of those super fights that people have been talking about for a few years now. Like, Anderson Silva versus GSP. All that shit. That's probably never going to happen. But this realistically could happen, and probably could happen next year. Let's hope it all goes to plan. But I wouldn't be upset if Frankie Edgar won, because he really is a true champ, and he's a tough dude. He's a tough guy for anybody. I might not do a recap. I'm not really keen on doing recaps. This is going down Saturday, by the way, which is the 11th of August at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. Respect to Denver, Colorado. That's the place where didn't that crazy dude shot all those people in the viewing of the Batman film. So yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of. I bet Dana White will probably give some proceeds to that or shit. Probably should do. Probably they normally do well with shit like that, with charities and whatever. After that, the next UFC we have is September 1st coming up, which is a bit of a better card, bit of a better fight card. We got John Jones versus Dan Henderson. We got Josh Koscheck versus Jake Ellenberger, Dennis Seaver, and Yagin. The UFC are making a habit of just doing 2 okay fights for the main event and the co-main, and just putting on a shit fucking undercard, and it's pretty annoying when they're doing that, to be honest, at the moment. I mean, then after that you've got UFC 152, yet again, 2 okay fights in Michael Bisping, Brian Stann, and Jason Benavidez, and Demetrius Johnson, and a shit undercard. I'm intrigued to see Vinny Magalhaes actually on that card. Super good jiu-jitsu dude coming back to the UFC, which should be good. And that'll be going down the 22nd of September, but that's a way away. Like I said, I'm not going to bother doing a recap. I might do if people want it. Don't forget to, if you enjoy the video, subscribe. If you want to you can down there, you can hit like if you like it. If you don't like it, don't bother doing a dislike. It's cool. Just don't bother. But if you like it, put a tick. And don't forget to comment, whatever. Inbox me if you want me to do a video about something you want me to talk about. You know what I mean? And that's me done for this particular video. I'll be back for the 151 card, which will be in a couple of weeks' time. Until then, people, enjoy the fights.